This season, Jim and I set out to find the best trout destination we could. For us, best meant pristine surroundings, limitless water, and wild trout that would take a well-placed fly. We did our research, and this is where we ended up. This is Fly Fusion Television. With over 7 billion people on the planet, it's becoming increasingly difficult to find places where nature is unaltered, where the water runs cold and clear, and where bull trout thrive. I call these places secrets.
All right, can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Yes. All right. Roger. Roger. Roger.
Over the years, you spend a lot of time walking riverbanks and, looking for new locations, and, it's a lot of effort that goes into it. So when you find a truly special place that, you kind of got to use it yourself for a while before you're willing to share it. Today on this river, this is definitely one of those places because I've been coming here a long time, and it's been a while since I really felt comfortable bringing somebody up here. Because it's a difficult place to get to, we've got a helicopter that's going to get us into some spots that I've spent a lot of time and a lot of hours walking into. I'm just excited about that as I am about the fishing. But once we get in there, the fishing's going to just show you how crazy it can be.
This concept of wanting to keep a place a secret, it's something that we're going to, we're going to respect Paul for today, and we're going to try to keep this as secret as possible.
Okay, I'm going to lift off here, and then we'll just take a look at it, even if I have to come back. Okay.
Seeing the fog beneath us and the mountains poking through it, and seeing little glimpses of the stream, and basically finding a hole in the fog so that we could take the chopper down in and land it on the banks of the stream. It was like a trip in a dream.
When you're steelheading and the fog is like coming up off the river, that's mystical. When you're getting into a helicopter with fog rolling in, that's panic.
Being able to go up in a helicopter and be right beside the mountains and right on top of the trees and seeing elk in the valleys, it is honestly a unique, special experience that I'm not sure I'll ever get to do again.
A very special deal for me. I've been on choppers a few times, but not very often. And sometimes the chopper ride into a remote place is just about as good as what happens when you get there.
You can hear the pilot saying through the headsets, like, I don't know, guys, I don't know if we're going to be able to bring this down. To which you're thinking, there's all this anticipation and build-up to get to this secret spot. And then he's like, I don't know if we can set this down. And you're just like, oh no, but he must have seen like this little break. He takes advantage of it, brings the helicopter right down through that little break and lands right beside the stream.
I think everybody has secret places that they like to fish, and they don't take anyone to, or at least they don't take very many people to. It gets complicated because if it's a place you found, I think the protocol is you can do whatever you want. But if somebody showed it to you, then I think you're bound by whatever the agreement is between you and the person that took you there.
Explore the majestic Canadian Rocky Mountains, where clear freestone rivers and pristine mountain lakes are home to wild, pure strain West Slope cutthroat trout and impressive monster bull trout. Let our local Fernie guides lead you, challenge you, and inspire you in one of the best fly fishing destinations in North America. Fernie, British Columbia.
Getting out of the helicopter and looking into the water and seeing a tremendous amount of bulls is a very unique experience.
He really wanted to take us in there because the fishing in there is just, I mean, it's lights out. It's out of this world. And but he didn't really want to share with the world, which is a little bit of a catch-22, because here we are with cameras and we're going into this spot. And so we're going to bring the cameras with us, but we're going to try to be secretive about it. I want to be respectful of what Paul is asking of us. Because the hole was quite small, and the way that we were fishing the hole is that each of us were kind of taking a crack. We were taking a chance, and Paul set me up first in the hole, and it was one cast, and it wasn't a great cast that I got off on the first one. It's all right, yeah. That wasn't far enough in there, was it?
Fish every cast.
And I think it was because I was a little bit, I may have been a little bit too anxious or too eager.
Don't be afraid to throw them in.
Okay. Second cast was a good one, and I placed it right where Paul said, yep, put it there. Boom. I hooked into a beautiful bull trout. I think it was actually one of the larger ones of the day. I don't want to brag, Jim and Paula, but it was a beautiful fish.
Oh my goodness. Look at the size of this thing. So look at the nice white. The nice white on the bottom of the fins there.
He's getting some nice color. We'll probably get into some brighter fish today.
Yeah. All right. Look at how wide they are across the head. Yeah. Wow. That was a nice fish. That was nice.
So it works. All that money you spent on that helicopter was worth it.
It was worth it, yeah. Yeah. Under the grassy cut banks and in the deep runs, the river holds secrets. Fly anglers spend their lifetime trying to bring them to the surface. We have secrets too. We hide them, we suppress them, we keep them, we share them. Some are meaningless, and some, they mean the world to us. As fly anglers, we cast them, but more often than not, we discover them, and we want to protect them, so we share them with only a select few.
didn't look like much. It was a nice looking pool where if you didn't know better, you would probably spend 15 or 20 minutes. And he said, there's a lot of bull trout in here. And they're all stacked over against the far side, and there was a couple of overhanging trees, so we had to get flies, cast them upstream far enough so that they would be beneath the branches of the trees by the time they got to where the fish were. The amazing thing was when Paul said there's a lot of fish in there, I know Derek and Paul and I mean, I don't know what numbers we had in mind, but maybe like 15 or 20 bull trout, and then we found out later that there was maybe more like 50 or 100 bull trout in the pool, and it's just a little pool, so they really do gang up in these staging areas.
So what we want to do is we want to watch those two trees because they're hook eaters. If we can get the cast
Upstream of it, yeah. Okay.
There's a little bit of a spruce tree tip sticking out, and then get a mend in. Even if you can get that little drift right under those branches, that's the key.
So how deep are we over there?
You are probably, like at the end of that there, you're probably, I'd say, 8 feet deep.
Wow, that's deceptive, isn't it? Yeah, I got him now, I think. I'm Jim McLennan, and I write the Watermarks column in each issue of Fly Fusion magazine. I've also written a book called Watermarks, which is a collection of my best magazine pieces over the last 30 years. In it, there's sections on the where, the how, and my favorite, the why of fly fishing. Trout Streams of Alberta is a book about the great fly fishing in my home province. You can purchase either book online by going to troutstreamsofalberta.com or by calling 1-888-435-9624. Okay, keep him away from his buddies, huh? Oh man. I don't have any secret flies. I guess I just think that the fly is not as important as what you do with it, which is kind of my philosophy on fishing. In the old days, when the veteran fly fisherman who's catching a bunch of fish runs into the new guy who's not catching any, he says, "Come here, let me give you a couple of these, try these." Because that's not really what catches the fish, it's what you do with it, but it can sometimes help somebody. Look at those white edges on his fins.
Like a prehistoric beast.
Yeah. That's what we came here for. Well, thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Well guided. Well guided. So if you catch one, you get another turn right away, don't you?
Being able to put a cast with so many bowls in a pool, you get excited every single time you cast. You never know if you're going to be the one to hook that 40-inch bowl. I'm extremely honored that Paul took us to a secret spot. Not many people get to fish these locations, and you know that this is something that Paul worked really, really hard to find. I made one cast, set the hook, and I had to run down the pool so I don't spook more fish that are in there. And this fish just goes for a run. It had everything on me. I honestly didn't think I was gonna get it in. Man, such power in these things. That's a thick bull. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. This thing is just solid. I've got my own secret spots. I think that being able to fish someplace that you found, you kind of get the reward of catching your fish. You've worked for it. You've put in the time, you put in the effort, and now, if you're lucky enough, you get rewarded with a beautiful fish.
I would have to say Paula's fish was one of the most beautiful ones I've seen this year. You know, it wasn't the biggest, but you know, the biggest fish isn't always the prettiest.
No matter how good the fishing is, you get itchy feet when you're on a stream as beautiful as this one.
We got to that point where we felt very, very satisfied because of the number of fish that we'd caught and the size of the fish. We got to that point where we felt very, very satisfied because of the number of fish that we'd caught and the size of the fish.
And we moved downstream. There was one particular pool where we could see a really big, very nicely colored up bull.
Like, it's so clear in this stream that you can see massive bull trout like just swimming down in this hole.
Had not fished with Paula before, and it was really something to see her go to work on these fish. She is a fishing machine. She's not very old and she's not very big, but can she ever catch fish?
We flogged that hole. It was funny because that one looked like it was classic bull trout water, and we flogged that hole and we didn't touch a fish.
Which was sort of okay, because they should get to even things out. We kind of had our way with them a little bit early in the day, and then later on they got even. You tip your hat to that fish and remember them.
it's not just the bull trout, and it's not just the fishing, and it's never just that. It's that there's a guide who I respect Paul so much. We built up a trust with him, and he's willing to bring us into this, one of his secret places. We're flying a helicopter in because it's so remote, and the flight out after we had landed all these bull trout, the flight out was we flew the entire river valley right down to its confluence.
As far as I'm concerned, the day went as planned. And then the flight out was spectacular. I had goosebumps at the end of the day, thinking back of how happy the anglers were and just how satisfied everybody was.
I'm gonna have a vivid memory of this. It's really special to be in such a place with incredible fishermen. It was just a fantastic day.